The night was cold, the kind of cold that crept under your skin and gnawed at your bones. The highway stretched endlessly in both directions, swallowed by darkness, its silence broken only by the occasional hum of a passing truck. Alex Carter, a single dad in his early 30s, was driving home from another exhausting shift at the auto repair shop. His hands smelled faintly of engine oil no matter how many times he scrubbed them, and his shirt bore grease stains he couldn't afford to replace. Sitting on the passenger seat was a paper bag with 2 sandwiches inside his daughter Emma's dinner. She was only 7, and he had promised her that no matter how tired or broke they were, he would always make sure she went to bed with a full stomach. His eyes were heavy, but just as he passed a dim stretch of the road, his headlights caught sight of a car pulled over on the shoulder. A woman stood next to it, frantically waving her arms. Her face was pale in the cold night, and she looked desperate. Something inside him told him he should keep going. He was exhausted, and Emma was waiting. But another part of him, the part his late wife used to call his heart too big for his own good, wouldn't allow him to leave someone. "Everything okay, ma'am?" Alex asked, stepping out into the frosty air. The woman, probably in her late 20s, hugged her coat tighter around her frame. "My car just died. I don't know what happened. My phone battery is dead too. I've been standing here for almost an hour." Alex glanced at the car, popped the hood, and within seconds recognized the problem. The battery was corroded, the alternator barely hanging on. "Looks like your alternator's gone bad. I can patch it enough to get you home, but you'll need a new one soon." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Please, anything. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't stopped." Alex got to work with the few tools he carried in his truck. His fingers were numb, but he worked quickly, improvising a fix that would hold for at least a night. When the engine roared back to life, the woman clasped her hands together in relief. "Oh my God, thank you. How much do I owe you?" Alex wiped his hands on his jeans. He thought about Emma, about bills piling up at home, about the overdue rent notice on his kitchen table. He could have named a price. But instead, he smiled wearily. "Don't worry about it. Just if you've got a sandwich, that'll do." The woman blinked in surprise. "Sandwich? Yeah," he said with a shrug. "Haven't eaten since morning. I don't need money, just something to eat." The woman reached into her bag and pulled out a neatly wrapped sandwich. "It's turkey and cheese. Are you sure that's enough?" Alex took it gratefully. "More than enough. Drive safe, okay." She opened her mouth to say more, but before she could, Alex gave her a nod and returned to his truck. His daughter was waiting. The woman couldn't shake off the encounter all night. Who was this man who fixed her car in the middle of nowhere and asked for nothing more than a sandwich? Her name was Claire Bennett. She wasn't just any woman stranded on the road, she was the CEO of a mid-sized company that had grown rapidly in recent years. But she had kept her identity hidden because she had long ago realized that money often blurred people's intentions. That man, however, had no interest in her wealth. He had given his time and skill freely, asking for only food, a basic necessity. His humility struck her deeply. The next morning, Claire asked her assistant to track down the mechanic shop nearest to where she had broken down. It didn't take long. The name came up. Carter's Auto Repair, a small shop on the edge of town. Meanwhile, Alex dropped Emma at school before heading to the shop. He had barely slept. Rent was due in 3 days, and the landlord had already hinted at eviction if he didn't come up with the money. "Morning, boss," one of his 2 employees greeted him. Alex smiled faintly, though his mind was elsewhere. His shop wasn't bringing in much. Cars trickled in, but never enough to cover payroll, rent, utilities, and groceries. He sometimes skipped meals just so Emma could eat properly. That sandwich from last night had been his only dinner. He never mentioned his struggles to anyone. His pride wouldn't allow it. Around noon, a sleek black car pulled up outside the shop. It stood out, instantly polished, expensive, foreign. Alex frowned. Customers around here didn't drive cars like that. Out stepped Claire, dressed sharply but with a kind smile on her face. "Hi," she said softly. "You're Alex, right?" He nodded cautiously. "Yes. Can I help you?" She extended her hand. "I don't know if you remember me, but last night on the highway, you fixed my car." "I'm Claire." Recognition flickered across his face. "Oh, right. Glad you made it home safe." Claire hesitated before speaking again. "You didn't want money yesterday. You only asked for a sandwich. But I feel like I owe you more than that." Alex shook his head. "You don't owe me anything. I just did what anyone would have done." "No," she said firmly. "Not everyone would have stopped. Not everyone would have asked for so little in return." She glanced around his modest shop, the peeling paint, The outdated tools, the faint smell of oil and sweat. She could see the weight he carried, even if he tried to hide it. "Alexei want to help you," she said finally. At first, Alex resisted. He didn't want charity. But Claire wasn't offering pity, she was offering opportunity. She told him about her company, how they often struggled to find reliable mechanics to maintain their corporate fleet. She offered him a contract, steady work maintaining over 50 vehicles. It wasn't just a job. It was stability. Alex was speechless. "Why me?" Claire smiled gently. "Because when no one was watching, when you had every reason to walk away, you chose kindness. That tells me everything I need to know about your character." The following weeks transformed Alex's life. The steady income allowed him to pay off debts, fix up his shop, and provide Emma with things he had only dreamed of. He bought her new shoes, a warm winter coat, and even enrolled her in ballet lessons, something she had begged for since she was 5. One evening, as Emma twirled clumsily around their small living room, Alex's eyes filled with tears. All of it, this new chapter, this hope had begun with a simple act of kindness on a dark highway. Months later, Alex invited Claire over for dinner to thank her properly. He cooked spaghetti, Emma's favorite, and served it with pride despite the simplicity of the meal. As they ate, Claire looked around the warm, laughter-filled home. "You know," she said softly, "the world needs more people like you, Alex. People who remind us that kindness isn't about how much you give, but how you give it." Alex chuckled. "And sometimes, it's just about fixing a car for a sandwich." They laughed, but beneath that laughter was a profound truth. Kindness has a way of circling back, multiplying in ways we can never imagine. And for Alex Carter, a struggling single dad, that one sandwich had changed everything forever.